forecasting. In this session we can discuss difference of different forecasting methods: univariant, MLR, composite and consensus based forecasting. Forecasting predicts future demand based on historical data and judgmental data. Forecast can be created in various ways using statistical methods, human judgment, combination of both. Forecasting is a tool for predicting future sales quantities based on historical data. SAP SCM uses internal business warehouse to import historical data required in demand planning for the forecast. SAP SCM built on top of SAP BW and they are fully integrated. And here statistical forecasting methods. Univariant forecasting method. Under the univariant method you can have different models: constant, exponential smoothing, moving average, weighted moving average, trend, exponential smoothing, linear regression, season, trend season and others. Causal analysis method, multiple linear regression. Influence variables are climate, for example weather and temperature, price, advertising distributions. The composite forecast, it combines a different forecast. What is univariant forecasting methods? Univariant forecasting method, it is based on time series patterns. Univariant forecasting models are models that investigate historical data according to constant, trend, seasonal patterns and issue forecast errors accordingly. Here we can have a constant model, trend model, season, trend season and others. Manual forecasting, no forecast. Univariant models are often called as time series models. Time series models develop forecast by accessing patterns and trends of past sales histories. Univariant forecasting method supports constant trend, seasonal patterns. It also supports manual forecasting, simple linear regression, seasonal linear regression, exponential smoothing, Holt-Winters method, and a Coston method. Univariate forecasting works in such a way that general assumption is that future sales will be mimic past sales. Past sales patterns are identified and reproduced in the forecast. After the pattern is identified, the forecaster can select a time series model that is best suited to that particular pattern. For example, if past sales had seasonal influences, the winter classic decomposition method, which compensates for seasonality, should be used. For example, if sales are consistently high in October and April, the classical decomposition and method is appropriate for the purpose. If the past sales have small fluctuations and no major pattern or trend, then smoothing model may be used, such as moving average model or exponential constant model. This means that a time series models only consider patterns of previous sales, actual sales data, or series of sales over a certain period of time. Time series models are most commonly used forecasting methods. Different univariate forecasting methods can be assigned based on regular and intermittent demand patterns. Additionally, life cycle profiles can be added to simulate phase in phase out of products. Regular demand includes constant and trend models, trend plus seasonal plus life cycle. Intermittent demand, exponential smoothing, Coston method. Automatic pick the best model selection. You can choose automatic model selection if there is no knowledge of patterns in the historical data. Historical data are checked for constant trend, seasonal and seasonal trend patterns. Procedure 1, the procedure 2. In the automatic pick the best model selection, you can allow the system to select most suitable forecast model. To select most appropriate model, system analyzes historical data. If system cannot detect any clear time series patterns in the historical data, it automatically selects the constant model. Procedure 1. If you want the system to select forecast model, you can choose between various statistical test and test combination to determine model. If you choose procedure 1, you have to set up the forecast strategy between 50 to 55 in univariant profile. In the trend test, system performs regression analysis of historical values and checks if there is a significant trend pattern. If seasonal test, system clears historical values of any possible trends and then performs an auto correlation test. Here no consideration of error measure. Forecasting model that corresponds most closely to the patterns detected is applied. Procedure 2. System calculates the model to be tested using various combination of alpha, beta, gamma values. And you can set up the increment variation area of smoothing factors. So in this, system select the model that has least error measure. In the background plan, it can generate clear forecast profile with assignment to the selection. In the procedure 2 is more PCS than 1, but it takes more time. If you want to use procedure 2, set the forecast strategy 56 in time series forecast profile in event profile. With this procedure, you can have the assignment and the forecast settings calculated every 6 months. In the procedure 2, system will select the model which gives least mean absolute deviation errors. So this is automatic pick best model selection. And we have exponential smoothing factor module. The system uses alpha factor to smooth the basic values, beta value to smooth the trend value, and the gamma value to smooth the seasonal value. The smoothing factor gives a higher weighting to more recent historical values than to less recent one, which means that the more recent values have larger influence on the forecast. Constant model determines basic value of future sales data. Trend model determines basic and trend values. Seasonal model determines basic and seasonal values. Trend and seasonal model determines basic trend and seasonal values. The formula is used for exponential smoothing of basic value using alpha factor. Formula includes B bracket of T, basic value for current period T. B bracket of T minus is the basic value from previous period. V bracket of T is the actual requirement version from period T. Expert forecast uses smoothing factors from historical data to determine basic trend seasonal values. If the expert forecast is accurate in predicting historical data, and the forecast error will be small. So this is the smoothing, exponential smoothing model. Adjusting actual data, corrected history. To generate more exact forecast, you must remove the impact of one-time promotions or delivery problems from the actual data. And these adjustments are normally made in the corrected history key figure instead of original history key figure. And during forecast time, corrected history can be created by modifying original history values from InfoQ or Live Cache. And these changes may be brought up, for example, by outlier corrections, workdays corrections, phase in phase out profiles, and like. This corrected history can then be used for actual forecast. In the forecast profile, you can define whether you want to forecast to be based on original actual data or corrected actual data. Automatic outlier correction. You can select outlier correction functionality in univariant profile to automatically correct outliers in the historical data on which forecast is based. If you have set the outlier correction indicator, then the system first calculates an exposed forecast with selected forecast technicals. The next step, system calculates tolerance thresholds T, where T is calculated as a T sigma MAD. Here final MAD is always used for all historical values. And the system carries out final export forecast plus forecast with corrected historical values. The values which were determined in the process for exposed forecast could of course deviate from the original values. So the deviation between values corrected by outlier and those displayed by the exposed forecast. Is the final forecast. The sigma factor defines the width of tolerance range for automatic outlier correction. It defines permissible number of standard deviation. A small sigma factor means low tolerance and a large number of outliers that are detected and corrected. Default sigma factor is 1.25. So this is a outlier correction. You can only use corrected forecast key figures for univariate forecasting. And you can use various automatic methods to adjust actual data. The methods can be activated from the forecast profile. And the methods are phase in, phase out profile, work days adjustment, past formations, outlier corrections, manual adjustments. As already I have described about the outlier correction. Next, standard forecast errors. Standard forecast error. Standard forecast error are MAD, mean absolute deviation, error total, mean absolute percentage error, mean square error, root of mean square error, and mean percentage error. So these are the standard forecast errors defined in univariate profile. Creation of master forecast profile and creation of univariate profile and assign to master forecast profile. Go to transaction code MC96B, maintaining master forecast profile. Enter planning area. Master profile. Provide description. Enter the forecast key figure. Period indicator M for month. Activate life cycle planning. Forecast horizon 12 months. History horizon 24 months. And save. And create univariate profile and assign to master forecast profile. Composite forecast is a combination of different forecast. It is a combination of constant forecast model and with trend forecast model. Now click on univariate profile. You enter the name, read historical data, provide the key figure, planning area version, forecast strategy, in the forecast strategy 10 constant trend model, 11 first order exponential smoothing, moving average trend model, 23 seasonal regression, 35 halt and winters method, 41 forecast with automatic model selection strategy, 50 test for trend, test for season, and a 56 for model selection procedure 2. Now select forecast 10, forecast strategy 10 constant model. Provide the alpha value, and sigma value should be 1.25. and Dynasis group. Dynasis group is used to define upper limit of forecast error. If forecast crosses the defined errors, then alert will be triggered to the planet about the exceeding the limits. So here maintain Dynasis group, save group, execute, disable re-initialization. The outlier correction is none. Select forecast errors MAD, MSC, RMC. If you are using promotions, you can set up the key figures. Now save. Assign to master forecast profile. Now I will explain composite forecast. Composite forecast is used to group different forecasting methods, univariate constant and univariate trend method. So we have to create one more univariate trend method. read historical data, version, forecast strategy, defined season model, select a history key figure, strategy 31, alpha value 3, beta, gamma and sigma 125, and select the diagnosis group. Checkbox all the errors and save. Now, creation of composite forecast. It combines the two forecast methods. Select invariant profiles, invariant constant, and provide the weighting factors for univariant and select and save. Assign to master forecast profile and save. So forecast profile has been successfully saved. MLR, multiple linear regression. You can use MLR to determine how dependent variables such as sales is connected with the independent variables such as casual variables such as price, advertising and seasonal factors. MLR uses historical data as a basis for calculating regression coefficient data for causal analysis. Causal analysis is based on causal factors such as price, budget, campaigns. System uses MLR to calculate influence of causal factor on past sales. In this way, system allows you to analyze the success of specific actions. The Calculated connection between causal factors and past sales history is then used as a basis for forecasting. MLR is a form of causal analysis which enables you to analyze relationship between single dependent variable and several independent variables. Unit sales key figure is a dependent variable. The advertising budget is one of the independent variable. MLR model calculates influence of advertising budget on the unit sales in the past. So model uses calculated coefficient to incorporate the effect of planned advertisement in the unit sales forecast. So in MLR, coefficient or weightings of independent or explanatory variables describes the relative importance of variables. The coefficient in causal model indicates how value changes in each of independent variables. X and the influence the value of dependent variables Y. For an example, you can determine the effect on sales quantity when advertising budget is decreased by $1,000 if all other variable remains constant. So I'm sorry. So there is a formula used to have a MLR calculation. So consumer demand for product Y is equal to constant plus price plus advertising distribution plus free market price. So in the formula, yi equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1 beta 2 plus x2 infinitely beta n xn. So yi is a demand history, constant is a beta 0, coefficient are the beta 1 beta 2, and causal factors are x1 x2. So unlimited causal factors are price, temperature, weather. Multiple linear regressions are lax dummy variables. So here in this, y is a dependent variable, bo is a intercept or constant, bn is a coefficient or weights, xi is a independent variables. So you can define the MLR profile, forecast profile, same as univariate forecast profile, but we cannot combine the MLR profile into the composite forecasting. creation of MLR profile, go to MC96B. Enter planning area. Distribution. Forecast key figure. Period indicator M. Select the future period. Historical periods. And save. Now create a MLR profile and assign to master forecast profile. MLR method, standard MLR method. Sigma value 1.25. Dynamics group. MAP upper limit. Alert if forecast cannot be made. Save and assign. Past key figure, history sales value, version. Feature dependent variables. Version. And save. So MLR profile has been successfully saved. Next, create forecast alert profile. Forecast alert profile. This can be used to define user specific selections of alert types that are relevant to your planning area. The forecast proper used to use alert monitor to monitor forecast error which may have too large. You can create forecast alert profile and use them for monitoring forecast. To create forecast alert profile, to supply chain monitoring, alert monitor, current setting, here the set alert monitor. Click on forecast. So here are the forecast alert profiles, overall alert profiles. We will have detailed session on alert profile later on. Now, generation of forecast. Go to interactive planning table, SDP 94, load the selection, select all, load data, you can see the drilled up from the detail level of APO product. And here you can see univariate, forecast tool, MLR, the composite. And here you select the forecast profile, assign to planning book, thing is already assigned to execute. Select the forecast profile. Execute. Now generate univariate forecast. Univariate forecast successfully generated. You can see that these are the historical value. This is a forecast. So forecast has been calculated for the month of May and the month of June. These are the forecast values. You can see the message. Required time for forecast is seconds. Expert forecast carried out. MAP is too high. So save. Come out. Save. Come out and reload the planning book, interactive planning table. You can see the forecast has been calculated, and you can see on product level forecast has been calculated on the product level. So it's great, everything is perfect. The forecast has been calculated successfully. So save. Data saved successfully. Now demand planning. Now demand plan is available to release to supply network planning. If required, if there any introduction of new product or discontinuation of the old product, or there is a copying the value from old product to the new product, or we can use life cycle management and like modeling tools, and there is a realignment is there, which is used to do the master data changes. So going forward, we will have a detail on as mentioned components. Thank you.